another glorious day, my tea sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your crumpets together because it's time to dish tea. And you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat.
Can't wait. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat.
Darling. Hello, my darlings. What's your tea? What is your tea? What's going on, my darlings? It's another glorious day. My tea sippers and my crumpet dunkers and my tea brewers and my pot stirrers and my tea leaf readers and my tea baggers and my tea biscuits. Another glorious day, and I know you have all of your crumpets together because you know what time it is, my darling. It's time to dish tea, and you are dishing tea with Big Meats. What's up, honey? Listen, child, it is cute. I'm sitting up here going through my little changes and carrying on. My road dog is in town, child. So, that was cool. I got to spend some time with him yesterday, and that was really, really cool. And, he's going to be in town until Monday. And he has an agenda, so, I try not to impede on it. I had to learn that the hard way. So hopefully he leaves Monday, so I'll get a chance to chill with him a little bit more and carry on and do a couple more things with him and et cetera, okay? So I am sitting up here on top of the world and doing the thing, honey. So what is going on in your worlds, my darlings? What's going on? We got a fabulous show for you today. And we're going to talk some real talk, okay? We don't mean, we always talk some stuff over here that I believe is beneficial for the community, and I want you guys to weigh in, okay? Make sure that you weigh in. And what is today? Today is the 11th. Let me do this because my daughter's birthday is coming up, and her birthday is, is it the 12th or the 13th? I want to say it's the 13th. No, it's the 12th. It's tomorrow. It's the 12th. Miss Scarlett, let them off your car, Michael, darling, honey. Okay, yeah. Scarlett, let them off your car, Michael. Crenshaw, something, divinity. Okay, because that's my child now. Okay. The mother of the church, honey, the grandmother of the church, honey, Miss Elise Smith, she is turning. She is now 49. Damn, girl. Okay. She'll be doing all that. Girl, you're gonna be 50 in a minute. God damn. Old heifer. Okay. Man. Oh, she know I'm just joshing with her though. Because her birthday is coming up, so I want to make sure I give her a shout out right now and call that Grace and Mercy, okay? And we're gonna do that. I have somebody over here. What you say, kitty girl? You said my brother's birthday is tomorrow too. Okay, all right. What you say now? So be that as it may. Let me bring in my co-host over here, the one and the only. He calls himself the big red fella. There he is, right there. What you know no good, Red?
Gather around, young and old. I'm going to show you my dance. It's called Take Control.
All right now.
It's easy to do. who rock out with me. Pay attention.
Well.
On this T.
Ah.
Stomp your left foot. Stomp your right. Roll your middle.
Ooh.
Turn back to the right.
Well.
We dish T.
Dish and tea, baby.
Dish T, baby.
Happen. Okay. All right. I love it. You know what? We're going to start off with something very light before we get into the heavy stuff. Okay. I want to start off light to open it up, and I'm going to play this because I sent it to a number of y'all. I don't know who all got it. Oh shit. Okay, here it is. But what would you do if somebody sent you this?
I love you, if nobody told you. I really do. If nobody told you today, I love you. If nobody told you today, I really do. If nobody told you, I love you. If nobody told you today, I really do.
All right. Okay. So what's going on, honey? I really love you. If nobody told you today, I love you. I do. What would you do if somebody were to send you that just at random, okay? Or you send that to somebody randomly. Does that really have an impact these days? Okay, that's the question. Because do we mean it when we put it out there? Do we say it like we mean it? Do we mean it like we say it? Is it something that we're using just as a fluff? Is it something that we are, are we going through just to go through? What is that? What is that? Okay, and then do you send it to any and everybody, or do you send it to folks that is going to mean something to? When I send it out, I send it to folks I know it's going to mean something to, because of the energy that I'm in at the time. I send it to certain people because in my spirit it says if I send it, this is going to lift them up. This is going to take them over the rainbow. This is going to encourage them throughout the day that somebody's thinking about them. Other times, when I'm in a benevolent mode and I'm walking down the street or whatever the case may be, or I'm around folks, it's still a spiritual thing for me because I usually, when I'm drawn to that energy, I say it because I know it picks folks up and gives a lift. So for you, what does that mean for you guys out there, honey? If you were to get that, does it brighten up your day? Does it make an impact? Do you sit there and say, oh, they want something out of me because that's the only time somebody say they love you is because they want something? What does that mean to you? Red, I will give you the opportunity to take that.
What does it mean to me? Well, based on the last 8 months of my life, it's not a goddamn thing.
Wait, you fucking. I'm sick of you. He said, not a goddamn thing.
Considering, the last 8 months, I had a lot of, that's my brother, I love you,
right.
Oh yeah, we down right here. Oh yeah, so he comes steady. Oh, we go way back and all that, and then, and then they doggone turn around and they take a crap on me. So, at the end of the day, I really don't know because they have taken the word love and they have shrunk it into the word if. And if is the biggest word in the dictionary that allows no action.
Damn, that's good.
When love originally was an action word.
Fuck a damn dude. I said we were going to start light.
So at the end of the day, you telling me I love you, it would be something I would have to see your eyes. You can't send me no quick clip or nothing like that.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm going to accept it as, oh, I'm loved.
That's okay. Okay.
And at the end of the day, if I can't look in your eyes and you tell me that you love me, and they're gonna jump to the left, that means that's a detection of lying. Then I won't know the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't tell me you love me and you're running around and a random person that has nothing to do with our connection, whether it be intimate, friendship, or whatever, can detour you by what they say to you. Without you checking with me. I thought you loved me. So if you love me, you would do checks and balances before you do reaction. You know what I'm saying? Why are you being not proactive instead of you being reactive? Okay, so at the end of the day, what the hell you want me to believe you sending me a clip about love? Okay? Because you know clips come with 9mm bullets in it, so what the hell that mean? I'm just saying. Back to you, Meech.
Well, thank you for that report. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, did y'all hear my neck crack? Because it popped. Okay, well, hold on. Let's unpack that because you went to a couple of places that I want to tackle. The first one was when you said you sending me this random clip. Okay,
I did.
and here's what this is because see, are we very sensitive now because all of our life now is on social media and there's always random clips and this, that, and the other. See, you know, Tubi channel used to be an app, okay, that gave us film shorts. It was 15-minute movies or less. Okay. Why? Because according to the science and the numbers and the this and the that and the carrying on, our attention span has, you know, we all of has decreased. All of us are a little ADHD. Okay, we don't know how. You know, very little holds our attention, and this I'm talking as a whole. Okay, I'm old school, so you know I like a beginning, a middle, and an end. I like to follow a story. I don't like highlight reels. Ooh, did I just hit something there? Because clips become highlight reels. And just like this, what I just played, it's a clip of that was a choir rehearsal. Okay. So with that being said, that's only 32 seconds. Okay. Now, for me, I heard it and I'm listening to the words. I'm like, okay, ooh, that's cute, you know.
But you gave me 32 seconds for a lifetime emotion.
Boom. Okay, so okay, boom. So now I gave you 32 seconds for a lifetime emotion. Oh, I like that. 32 seconds. So is it fair to say that most of the time to receive these little random clips or whatever, we can't pay attention to it because it's just a clip. And you may love me in this 32 seconds of this moment, honey, but there's 24 hours in a day. You only gave me 32 seconds.
But did you know love being an action word, love being really, people don't know love is really a spiritual biblical word.
That's right.
Because God is love.
That's right.
So at the end of the day, when people don't understand, you learn things like God's love, you learn something is agape love, which is
that we talked about last week.
Yeah, a love that is full of sovereignty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's an elevated love of what love should be. Right. Of what Christ has taught us to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, love thy neighbor, love thy brothers and sisters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, do unto others as you do unto them.
Right.
So all these things people are letting slide by and trying to put love trying to put love inside their they daily, you know what I'm saying, verbal arsenal as a regular word, you know what I'm saying? You can't take love and hello and put it on the same list.
Right.
But people are trying to do that.
Right.
Don't downplay something that is detrimental to somebody's life. Because some people's love is a lot deeper than others.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? You got people out here that's killing themselves about love. And you got some people out here that's using love to kill people.
Okay.
So
I
tell people all the time, you know, I can pick up a apparatus, a cell phone or something, right?
Right.
And I can text, I love you, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I love you to my wife, right?
Right.
And she'll open up the text and she can read it and be like, damn, you know what? I can feel that he do love me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't just some shit he just saying. You know what I'm saying? But I can text, I love you to a person that I consider just a friend, right? I
Right.
love you. Hope everything go all right with you, right?
Right.
From the time that she reads, I love you and hope everything go all right with you, and the period in the sentence, that shit is over.
That's it.
But with somebody that knows emotionally, that has some type of attachment to you, right? That's spiritual. It resonates.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Exactly.
It resonates.
Exactly.
See,
exactly. Exactly.
people gonna have to stop trying to downplay things that are very important to us as human beings.
This is true. This is true.
Air, love, and water.
Okay. Okay. Let me flip that coin over, because there are moments where it resonates, yes. But what about those who have become attached? Okay. And they misread because they want it to be something else.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Because I may say I love you in the agape spiritual sense, and because we're friends, I'm loving you as a human being and this, that, and the other. But somebody else is fantasizing because they want something more.
Because it's so good loving somebody when somebody loves you back.
And that's a fact. Okay. So when we're dealing with that, and that same 32 seconds, okay, that same 32-second clip can then spark a whole different kind of dynamic.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And it'll start, the wheels are going. It'll start a this or that. And, it'll start, and then it ends up creating a situation. Let me give y'all this. Okay. Now, y'all know I've talked about my ex. And I've told y'all, me and Michael, okay, Michael was the first guy to tell me that I was fine, okay, and meant it, right? He was the first guy to do that to me. And it was no strings attached, right?
Okay.
Now let me make that distinction. I've been told I was cute. I've been told I'm a tall drink of water. I've been told all that, all that cutesy shit, right?
Tall drink of water.
Oh, yeah. But what came with that was the condition of it was a hookup. That was the calling card. That was the play.
Oh, it was a line.
The line. Yeah. Okay. To spark my attention. And then, hell, within the next 5 or 10 minutes, okay, there was a roll in the hay or in the public restroom or wherever we were.
Okay, don't say that, right?
Child, please, the walls are talking. Listen, I'm transparent that way.
Oh, that's you right on the wall?
I used to. For a good time, okay. 777-9311. Okay. So that was always a line, right? But Michael was the first one, and he did it so smooth, child, to where hell, it was that way, right? Because he was getting out of the car. We went to go drop him off, and he was getting out of the car. He said, "Damn, that guy in the backseat fine."
Oh, the player from the Himalayas.
Right.
What he did was fertilize the soil.
Yes, he did.
Okay,
Yes, he did.
yeah,
Yes, he did.
You know what? Like when I was before I laid my book down, bro, I used to drop them seeds like that because I knew I'd come back and there'd be something growing.
Okay. Well,
I remember that.
He said that and got out. Yeah, he got out the car and walked off.
Yeah, you got to walk off like a boss. Because if you stand over, you're gonna block the light, so it won't grow.
Then my sister, Miss David, honey, David was about to pull off. I said, "Bitch, if you don't turn this goddamn car around."
Oh, so you hit him with the thirsty. You can't do the thirsty.
No, I was because I had just met him. This is us meeting for the first time, so I'm like, okay, boom, boom, and I didn't think he had recognized me because I didn't recognize him, right? Because we didn't have conversation. And I said, well, wait a minute, I turned the car around and I went and told him, I said, well, hey, we in town. You know, we're going to be here for the weekend or whatever. We're going to be over at David's house. He said, oh, you in town? I said, yeah. He said, oh, well, shit, I'm going to have to come through. I said, well, why don't you? You know, boom.
See, he probably was eloquently giving you what they call a player's compliment.
Right.
And he was sowing a seed.
Right.
Growth for later. You, on the other hand, you know what I'm saying, you didn't show the label on your package where it said bouquet of sluts. So you had to...
You know what, bitch? Wait, he said I did not show my label to say bouquet of sluts. I mean it. Wait.
So now you changed your position, right? And when you change your position, now he's like, man, he said, okay, the dinner date is off. And now I'm going to slut you out. Because you know what I'm saying? Because what you did, you showed him. You're like,
well, okay, I'll take that.
It wasn't Marie Calendar no more. Now it was a TV dinner. You know?
Well, at least I was a Hunger Jack shit. Okay.
But the plate don't come back.
This is what it was. Okay. He said, but the plate don't come back. Okay. It was all foil. Okay.
I'm glad somebody understands me.
It was all, yeah, it was just disposable, honey, just disposable. But that's what that was, okay? So, you know, I turned the car around and we had conversation, and so that's what started this whole thing because, yes, I was young and I had not been in a relationship before. All of my gay career at that particular point, I was 18 when I met him.
Did you say gay career?
Yeah. Okay. So at that particular point, you know, it was all about the conquest. It was all about, you know, getting laid and carrying on. That's all it was. And all of my friends were like in relationships and boyfriends and this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. So I would say, you know, it was a thirst trap for me. It had, you know, it happened then. And so I have an opportunity to meet somebody who was this. And I was like, okay. So I would go, you know, we would party in Toledo every weekend or whatever. Now, Toledo is like 45 minutes to an hour away from Detroit. So we would gas up, honey, my son and I, this is my firstborn, honey, Miss Pete. We would gas up, you know, I'm sitting after that, he was my Tabitha, right? So we would gas up and go down to Toledo every weekend and carry on. So that's how this whole thing started. And maybe within about 3 months or so afterwards, you know, Michael and I called ourselves dating, quote unquote. With all of that was a figment of my imagination.
Oh, Lord, tell me you wouldn't.
Okay. All of that became a figment of my imagination because I was one who, yeah, I did the whole okie doke shit. You know, we in a relationship and blah, blah, blah. I come to the club, you know, we meet at the club or whatever. You know, and the club was real busy. We get on the dance floor for a minute. He's like, okay, I'll be right back. And so I thought we kept missing each other, you know, on the dance floor, whatever, because we had our little section and shit. Well, lo and behold, Mike was going to get high.
Oh my God.
Okay, Mike was a crackhead at that time. Okay.
Oh.
Yes, I fell in love with the crackhead.
What, in the New Jack City? Okay.
Yeah, okay, right. Okay, Pookie. Okay, Mookie. Right. And so that there was that whole thing. So there were those moments where he would say I love you to me and carrying on, you know, later. I was real finicky about saying love first and saying love in relationships or whatever because I felt folks didn't mean it. But I thought we were bonding. And yeah, I got suckered, honey. Years and years later, when we had our moment, right? I told y'all this before. What this is 2025, so this had to be in maybe 10 years ago now. Damn, 2015 I came in with that quick.
So you was one of the first victims of crack capulation.
Crack capulation.
Ooh, that's a real thing. You know why? Because he's sitting right here.
Okay. So I you know, throughout all of that, when I realized and you know, it said to me he was on drugs and this, that, and that, yes, I was one trying to be Florence Nightingale. My love for him was going to get him free and clean and all the girl look.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
My goodness.
Yes, I did, child. I was fighting with that bitch, honey. Me and that white girl was
such an animated young fella.
me and that white bitch, honey. We boxed and we boxed for real. Okay. And because this was again, now this is a weekend love, honey, because I'm only going down there on the weekends. So Monday through Friday or Sunday through Thursday, honey.
But that right there should told you.
It should have, but I was young, honey, and this is new, and I'm sitting up here trying to work it out, and you know, I got Jesus and carrying on, and I'm praying. And
you know the problem is in America right now. Every position in life, whether it be relationships or job, has a label on it. And you refuse to read it because it's not the job you really want.
But this is true. This is true.
It's like, you know, you doggone is a steward if you telling everybody you fly the plane.
You shut up.
You know what I'm saying?
You're not telling everybody you the pilot.
No, you the pilot.
Okay. Knowing that, okay, you sit up here, peanuts, okay,
right.
Something to drink.
Right.
Okay.
Carrying a box of chicken, you're not one piece at a time.
At a time. Okay, what you want a pie? Okay. I ain't got no thighs left, baby. No, I just got wings. Okay. You know, that kind of thing. But that's what that was. And I'm saying all that to say that, you know, in me wanting to be loved, wanting to be this, and yes, you know, I'm one of the ones who have fell for that. This was the first guy who said he liked me and I was cute for real and he didn't want nothing behind it. Yeah, I fell for it. Okay. I fell for it.
You got the max slap down.
And it cost me 3 good years of my life.
Wait.
3 good years.
You were chasing the ghost for 3 years?
3 good years. 3 years.
You was chasing the ghost for 3 years?
3 years, honey. You know, I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Lord.
Okay. So it cost me 3 years. So and I told y'all what my final breakup point was after I had moved into Detroit.
When you realized that you wasn't as cute as Crack Rock?
Oh. I told you that story before, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. He and my cousin's boyfriend, honey, they went out together. They went out on their binges independently, but they end up crossing each other, going to their prospective houses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mine came back home first. Russell came home like 2 or 3 hours later. Okay. And there was a whole big old thing, right? And Russell caught himself trying to sneak in, and Tanero clicked the light on when he came in. And so they got into it.
It's 5 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
You just getting in.
So they get into it and carrying on. And then my man was up here have words.
You didn't say, are you hungry?
And I was like, wait a minute. Because when he came in, I didn't want to talk at the moment. I said, no, we ain't going to talk about this right now. Because we in somebody else's house. We'll deal with this later. Right? I said, just roll over.
So you was there
and go to sleep.
You was at the Holiday Heart thing. You was like, oh, I'm not gonna talk about this right now.
You know what?
Just roll over.
Silent. I don't want to talk about that. Just go find my child. Right? Yeah, I was there. Okay, so Michael said, I told her, I said, just go to sleep and carry on. So when Russell came in, Russell, you know, and Tanero got into it. And I mean, they got into it and carried on, right? And then this motherfucker, because Tanero said, oh God, Tanero said to him, but you said you wanted to go to rehab. What happened to that? And my thing of a person squeaks out and says, well, rehab only works when you want it to work.
Okay.
And I jumped up. I said, mother, what did you just fucking say? And I said, so what the fuck are you trying to tell me? You done been in 3 of them.
That I'm a fat kid.
And lo and behold, honey, it was at that moment that I had my Carrie moment. You know, y'all remember the movie Carrie? When she was in just before she set the school on fire with her telekinesis, and she had the little moment. But you so sorry, Carrie. But you, I had that in my head just playing, and I heard myself saying, "Bitch, you a damn fool. Bitch, you have been a fucking fool. You have been a real fucking fool."
You ain't cutting, bitch.
No, I took myself and I ran to the bathroom because I was about to start crying, and I didn't want to give him my tears.
And what was his name?
Michael.
Oh, geez, he had one of them strong
Okay.
names back in
But because he got my tears before. Remember I told you I was telling you the whole Jennifer Holiday Say You Love Me. I sang that song to him on the way down to Toledo one time. And this, that, and the other. He had just got out of jail. We trying to do the little thing and this, that, and the other. And lo and behold, after spending all my goddamn money, because I took my entire paycheck down there to shower him, we supposed to be going back to David's house or whatever, and he decided that he needed to go home because Uncle Henry needed him to work with him in the morning. And I said, well, we'll get you over there to Uncle Henry. Just come back to the house tonight. And he went into this kind of panic attack kind of thing about, no, I got to go. And everything in my spirit said, you know what, fuck it, let him go. Because I'm not here to fight with that. And it became, here I am. I'm the lone wolf yet again.
You know he was going to that crack, right?
I didn't give a fuck about all that. At that particular point, I didn't care because I was alone again. This was supposed to be a couple's weekend. My sister David got her man. My damn child got her man. I was supposed to have mine. Mine go and want to put a disappearing act. So then we in the house, and who's by themselves yet a fucking again. And I got to sit down here, going to sleep, knowing I don't sleep because they're going to be fucking. I'm in tune to that. So, my mind goes to this. So if I'm hearing fuck sound, it's going to wake me up and I'll be hot and bothered.
You're going to be sitting there.
Right.
Tears
running down my face.
You'll be hearing,
Wait. Because that's what happened the next morning. David was taking us back to Detroit, and we were trying to go get some liquor. This is why I don't drink gin now. We were trying to go get some liquor, but in Toledo, the package stores are way out, and they don't sell on Sundays. You have to wait till after 12, and we had to go to the package store. So we went traveling, maybe an hour or so out the way, right? But in every field that was an empty field, there was an orange and black sign that said Michael Realty Company. So I'm sitting up here going up this damn highway, and I'm saying Michael.
Oh, you was having
Michael.
Remember back in the day, the old horror movie?
Yes.
So you was like, Michael.
Right. So right. So every time because this is and I didn't know I was capable of doing this. My brain had blocked out that night, right? Because I had my sister came up to me and they're like, sister, we need to talk to you. I said, don't tell me. We in the kitchen. I catch this. Me, my sister, and my child, we in the kitchen, right? She cooking chicken wings for her man and carrying on, and Pete doing something for Daryl. And we in the kitchen.
Lord.
Okay.
Boy, that had to hurt.
So, and David said, she said, sister. Right. She said, girl, I don't know how to tell you this. I said, don't say it. I said, don't say it because I know what you're going to tell me. She said, what do you think I'm going to say? I said, you finna tell me that when y'all went inside, when Michael came inside the restaurant with y'all, Michael sat up there and told y'all that he doesn't feel for me the same way I feel for him. oh, sister, I'm so sorry. And then my child, Pete, come over. He wanted to give me a hug. Oh, mama, I'm so sorry. I said, girl, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. So I'm sitting up here going.
So when they went inside, he was there. And so when they went inside, he was in there. He said what he said
to them, right? Because
So he had a. Oh, okay. So he had the doggone the G-Money thing. He's like, what do you think I feel about that whole bitch?
Right.
Fuck that whole bitch. This is still. Oh yeah, I know that had to hurt.
You.
I know that. I know. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
So,
Jill.
So that night we drinking. Okay, we were drinking, and I felt, I'm trying to stay up, and I told her I'm not a comedian. But baby, I was throwing off one-liners. I got them, baby. They are crying. Everybody rolling on the floor. We laughing and carrying on, and I'm spitting. Okay.
Oh, you know what that was, right?
What?
The tears of a cloud.
Yeah, I know. But so I had excused myself because I felt like I was finna ready to just break out into a real ugly cry. And I excused myself and I went upstairs. And they really thought I had went crazy because I was crying and laughing at the same time.
Oh.
Yeah, they thought I had snapped.
Oh.
And they're like, girl, you all right? I said, girl, I'm fine.
In
but
my mind,
right, okay.
I'll always be your girl.
You're so motherfucking stupid. How was this shit coming to you so quickly? You dumb. You are dumb. Okay. But it's my life, honey. It's my life. I can't listen.
Now don't get it twisted. I am not a mean guy. I am not making a mockery of this situation. I'm just purely stating the facts to make clarity.
Right. Okay. So that did with that. So when I went to sleep finally, when I woke up, it was like I had blocked all that out of my head. Right? Michael called that morning. And I was in such a stoic sense because I wanted to make sure you was okay. I'm fine. Well, I know I can't be there for you, but I love you.
Oh, now you want to come
right? Back. That
3 months ago.
Okay. I love you.
For some crack, man.
And I can't be there to see you off. I wish I was there to see you off and go back. I said, well, it's all right. I said, how's Uncle Henry doing?
Who?
Uncle Henry.
Who?
Okay. And so when we got out in the morning, I said, okay, as long as you got to go do your job and do your work. I said, okay. I said, well, here's David. And because we're going to get ready to go. So that I was very stoic, right?
Mm.
And so now, like I said, we on our way to go get the liquor. And so I'm running into this micro realty company. And like every 10 feet, it was one of these goddamn signs. So now, just like in a movie, that night kept playing in my head how we went, right? Mm-hmm. So now we going to the damn package store. Mm-hmm. Now we leaving and got to come back. So now I'm seeing all the same damn signs on the way back. Okay. So we get there, mind you, we got Jennifer Holiday in the goddamn cassette player. We listened to the whole album like we did on the way down. Mm. Okay. So, we there. We there. I am love. And we had went and bought a fifth of Nikolai.
A what?
A fifth of Nikolai. What? Gin. We had gin, not vodka.
Gin make you sing.
Okay. When I got that bottle, I downed it. And I left, because all of us were supposed to be drinking that, right? And there's 5 of us in the car. Mm-hmm. All of us were supposed to be having some of that. But honey, when I got there, about what I got left in this bottle is what I left them.
No,
okay.
You wanted them.
So I'm like, okay. So now every song that done came on, right? I'm commentating the song, right?
Oh, Jesus.
I'm commentating the song.
Oh, Jesus. I think we had to pull over and fight. Because Because you'd have been so mad at me.
She said, we sit up there. You know, I want to know freeze of love. Don't want to love that'll blow away. And I'm like, saying, girls, you want to know real love, not like all these little motherfuckers who want to such and such and such. And they are crying, right? So, child, now we get to say, you love me. Say, I'm the one your eyes see. Tell me you need me deep down inside, like I need you. You see, I said, oh, and I said, And baby, I'm sitting up there, I'm rocking. Now I'm in the car, I'm rocking. I said, bitch, don't you cry.
I'm mad now.
I said, don't you cry, girl, don't you cry. Don't you sit up there and do this. Don't you do this in this car. And they're like, Samantha, you all right? I said, don't you do this. I'm talking to myself. Out loud. I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to myself. As soon as she hits, and I broke right there. I broke. I'm talking the ugly cry. That was all snot filled and carried on.
That's to be more careful.
And I'm drunk.
Drunk, snot, gay cry. Hold on. Drunk, snot, gay. So we gotta add some octaves to the cry.
Right.
And then it became animated because he used his hand.
Wait. Wait. So then I started, and my child is right here, honey. So I done sit up there and I grabbed my child, honey, and this bitch say, wait a minute, bitch, this is silk.
Absolutely. I'm not mad.
Get the fuck about me, girl. This is silk.
I ain't mad.
Oh, and I am a wreck, right? I'm telling you, I am a pure wreck. And long as this song is going on, I am a wreck, right? Then, of course, we on 75 going north, and we in a traffic jam. In fact, the traffic just fucking stopped because it's commotion. It was construction. So after I got through the song and I pulled myself together, bitch, we done jumped out in the middle of the damn street. We on the freeway dancing. House music came on. We in the street dancing on the freeway. Drunk as fuck, dancing. Okay.
Got a release.
Okay.
Some kind of
so then we get to the club. I'm high as hell. Walked up in here, split my pants, child. I had to take my shirt off and wrap it around my pants because I just split right on the scene. So luckily I had on my my underwear. And right at that time, did y'all remember Undergear catalog? I was ordering my underwear from Undergear. So they had these turquoise briefs, child, that was real cute. And they wasn't silk, but they were like the polyester blend. I had on my turquoise underwear, child. And so I'm sitting up here dancing with somebody on the dance floor. I remember it because I remember him. We sitting up here kissing and carrying on and just cutting up on the dance floor, honey. Like, I was like, oh my Lord.
Y'all must have been at the BREWERS bar.
No, we were at Bookies. Okay. We were at Bookies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like Bookies.
Okay. Over there on 6 Mile in Hamilton.
And
child, yeah. So I'm telling you, a mess. A mess. If I would have call Pete right now, honey, I'd have him recount that story, honey. Oh, just for him because he lives for he wasn't sad to me. And the fact that it was his shirt, honey, bitch, this is silk. He had a black silk shirt too. So yeah, so all of that particular story to say, about, getting caught up because you wanted something more than what it is. Okay. And then not paying attention to the signs. Because, listen, It's one thing to go through shit with rose-colored glasses. It's a whole nother thing when you just acting as if you can't see it all. Okay.
Yeah, so love is blind.
Mm-hmm.
Yet now I see.
Mm.
So that's what we're gonna call that.
Okay.
Because for you not to be able to see that,
Uh-huh.
what do you say? You must be doing it though. So
Okay, well, you know what? Here's the thing. I didn't want to see it. See, that's the lesson in it. Now all of us have to face because the signs are always there. They're always there. And because I started doubting this, I had little hits here, hits there, and I started doubting, but I pushed it to the side. Okay, instead of just saying, "Oh no, it's not going to be that," because, and I made excuses for it, thinking that it was going to reveal itself, or we just hit a bumpy patch, and this, that, and the other,
you
and
thought it was a bumpy patch?
and that's what it was. The signs were there, honey. Now, like I said, 10 years ago, Michael and he came to my apartment, all right? I found him online. I think I told y'all this story before too. I was talking with someone on a date chat, on the date line. And not to get into that.
Those things are for entertainment purposes.
Okay.
I get on there, and I see those things because I don't believe them. People they randomly throw that spam all in your page. Click on there.
Right.
Oh, hi. And all those
Right.
I go on there to entertain myself, and I say, I say hello.
Right.
I mean, what's happening, or
right.
Just to see if it'll respond right away. And sometimes they respond right away, so that may be real people.
Right.
But at the same time, I do it. I crack a joke. I might say something slick, and then I'm doggone block it.
Okay, right.
That's how you rhythm. But see, that's entertainment. I'm entertained like that.
Okay.
I do not want to know your doggone digital ass off no computer.
Well, here's what this was. This guy and I were talking, and we gave each other our phone number. So we called, and I'm like, okay, let me see what this is and what you're about. Well, child, we got to talking, and he got to talking about his ex and this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. And I said, oh, child, okay, I'll tell you mine, too. I said, girl, been there, done that, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, I'm hearing my story come out of his mouth. I said, oh, child. I said, honey, you telling my story, honey? And we should have been getting the cat out of it. I said, child, if that ain't Michael. He said, oh, your ex name was Michael, too? I said, yeah, Michael Hustler Sweeney Jr. And it got quiet on the phone. I said, hello? I said, hello, you there? He said, what did you just say? I said, oh, that was my ex's name. It's Michael Hustler Sweeney Jr. I said, yeah, Hustler, his real name, that's a real name, Hustler. I said, that's funny, right? Because they named him perfectly, right? And he said to me, of all of the people in the world to be on the chat line, how in the hell do I find somebody where we have the same ex?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at that. I need that.
That is crazy.
Okay. So that's what that was. So then, he was wanting to tell me that Michael was online and this, that, and that. So I found Mike, and we're talking. Right. It was just before I moved down here that we started talking online, and Michael didn't know who I was per se. Okay. Because he playing. Oh, okay. How you doing? And I gave him my number. I said, call me and this, that, and that. So he called me, and he's still playing that. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I called hold to that tone, and I said, Michael Hustler Sweeney Jr. You better act like you know who. And then he said, Demetrius. I said, oh, now you know who the fuck I am. He said, you're the only somebody who calls my name like that. And I said, oh, okay. So now I think I'm gonna have my get back. I'm gonna get ready to finally have my moment, right? the moment I'm gonna let you motherfucking have it because damn it, you that and you and ha ha and a you. And I didn't get none of that reaction, honey, because he shut me down so cutely by saying, you know what? He says, I'm not going to say that I didn't do it because I'm listening to you and I hear your pain. So I know I had to have done it. He said, but the only thing I can say is that I was caught up in getting high. He said, all of my moves was to get my next high.
I told you.
So if I did it, and I'm listening to you, and I'm sure I did. He said, the only thing I can offer you is an apology. And you know, I felt like a penny waiting for change because I'm sitting up there, I'm ready to argue, I'm ready. And I'm like, okay, well, now what? Because now I waited 15 years for this conversation and this, that, and the other, right?
Right.
So that was that. And so now my whole dating life and carrying on has been made because I didn't want to experience that kind of pain again. And I didn't want to take myself through that kind of bullshit and this, that, and the other, right? I did not want to do that because I couldn't trust myself because I let myself down here, in the fact of I did not pay attention to the signs. I didn't want to pay attention to the signs, blah, 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 blah. So there was that. All of that. And then when we finally saw each other again, I was a little nervous. Because
Why were you nervous?
why? Because he was traveling through, he was going back to Ohio, coming from Florida. And he said, I'm gonna stop by. Because we ain't seen each other. I said, okay. And I knew he was coming. I'm like, okay, I don't know how this gonna do, right? And if he's too tired to sleep, he's gonna want to spend the night. What is this going to mean?
There you go again.
There you
go again.
So
did you hear me?
Where I go.
I said, there you go again. Why does it have to mean something? You building it up again.
Well, okay. And the beauty was, it was nothing.
And it shouldn't have been after all that.
Right. It was nothing, He stayed on his side of the bed and carrying on and blah, blah, blah. Because I had for living with me. So I said, no, you come up here, sleep in here with me. And that was that. We kept our clothes on, and because I usually sleep naked or whatever. So that night I did not, on purpose. So boom. So it was cute, and we had a better understanding of one another then. But here we were adults now, and the kid shit is gone, and this, that, and the other. And it was then that I realized, child, I'm looking at him, I said, oh, here's the whole ticket. Nigga, you ain't into black boys. You like white boys. So this wasn't working to begin with. So that there is how all that came to be. So again, the moral of this story is understanding that when we get in our own way,
right,
when we allow ourselves to forego all of the signs because we want it to be something that it's not. When we sit down there and put ourselves through all of the heartache, the pain, and like you just called out, but you did it again, okay? Because this is you in your head, this is you in your head.
But okay, a lot of us, even in the heterosexual world, right? Okay, when you have genuinely found a love for someone, you will tend to know the signs are there.
Right.
Signs that are detrimental to your emotional stability. You will notice the signs are there, but you will try to sugarcoat or cover up the signs.
Yes.
Or overlook them in hopes that it be what you got going on.
Right. Right. Because here's where it is.
Because you can't make everybody love you the way you love them.
And here is the line. Here's the line that we adulterate. I can have anything I want as long as I work hard and put my mind to it.
Not true.
Did you hear me what I say? I can have anything I want as long as I work hard and put my mind to it.
Well, I mean, that may be true for anything, but not anyone.
But so then that's not congruent across the board. See, that there is something that we, as a human species, we have been taught that all of our lives. And a lot of times when it comes to matters of the heart and this, that, and the other, we sit up there and go into that. I'm gonna put my mind to it, I'm gonna work hard because this is what I want. And then we're also told this: everything that you want may not, what's good to you ain't good for you. Okay, what's yours is yours. Okay, that's undeniable. What is meant for you is meant for you. It doesn't take all that hardness and carrying on. And oftentimes we get blinded or we get so headstrong to where this is what we want. It's got to be this, it's got to be this, it's got to be this. And this way. You know what I'm saying? And we overlook signs, we sugarcoat, we make excuses. You know, it takes somebody, you know, like a me or a Red or somebody to focus. Now, the hard thing is when I have to take my own medicine. That's like a doctor going to a doctor. Bitch, I fight and carrying on. And a lot of times I used to put up resistance very badly. Now, when I put up resistance, it's not to be combative. I'm hearing, you know, and I'm processing. And you'll hear me say, let me think on that, because you may have something, because that means something I ain't thought about. Or it's like, okay, I hear where you at, but no, that's not my man, and I'm not there. Right. And this, that, and the other, but I hear you. You know, it's to acknowledge where they are, and then also to give me a blueprint to say, okay, bitch, you tread, you know. And as long as I can acknowledge that, the conversations go. Anytime I start to shut down because I made up my mind, yeah. And that there I had to come out of, because in earlier years or whatever, you know, I would be like, okay, y'all just talking to be talking because you don't want to see me happy, or it's my turn to do this, and this. And how come ain't nobody never glad for me? You know, y'all always come running to me and want me to be save y'all marriages. I got to save you here and this, that, and other. Bitch, you want me to go talk to this boy and this, that, and the other, or how come? And I'm the fixer for everybody else. Okay.
Well, let's yeah.
Okay, but now here I am here, and then all of a sudden my shit don't get no traction. You know, and it becomes,
crack.
You know what?
Wow.
I'm sick of you. You know what?
Shout out to Nino Brown. Let's read the comments.
You know what? I'm gonna top that. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna say vanity, my favorite sin.
Shout out to the Devil's Advocate.
Okay. Okay. Oh, child. Okay, let me go up here because y'all been talking. Let me see. Hey, Big Meat, hey, Big Red, you gotta go get the new Boosie album. It just came out, #1 album. It's off the fucking hook. Okay, #1 album of the year, #1 Funketeer new album. It is the bomb. Okay. Who is that by? It sounds like it's gospel. I don't know. That was a clip that I played, and it was some gospel group or whatever. They were in choir rehearsal. I like to send it to a select few, because people get weird about shit like that, and I don't know why. Except that I think we forgot a lot about how to love the love correctly. Okay. Good evening. Hey, Buck.
But
Nice fit, big star. Oh, you like this? Thank you, darling. Okay. I pay full attention as long as the whatever I'm hearing is good. Okay. Okay. Thank you for letting me do what I do. You know how long my music is, and they can't pay attention for 4 minutes. Okay. Right. Okay.
true.
Love is a game for fools to play. Real love endures all things. Wow.
Preach.
Okay. When's the last time people love like this? Asked by Stevie Wonder. I'm just saying. Ooh.
What? Hey, he just said, boy, that song.
That's groove, honey. She said, ooh.
That song done got me through before.
Okay. Good evening, but hey, Mike, what's going on? Let's see, as best friends between Demetrius and Ray, y'all said, I love you, man, as friends, because that's what brothers do. Okay. You fell in love with Pookie? I sure as hell did, honey. Okay. But my Pookie was thick. Okay.
Who asked you that?
Okay.
Who in the hell asked you that? Okay.
We had to paint the picture. Okay, because Pookie was, Pookie was crack then.
You paint pictures with the little wicker brushes. You don't paint it with a damn White House brush.
You just helped me find the song I've been looking for all damn day. The Persuaders, a woman was made to be loved. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. It was the Persuaders. I had in mind the Intruders. It was the Persuaders. That's why I couldn't find the damn song. Shit. Okay, you so stupid. Okay. My boo thing that I love. Lies, lies, more lies than the ultimate. Voted for Rump. Done. No, girl. Was that the straw that broke the camel's back? Not your boo thing. He lied, and then on top of it, he voted for Trump.
Wow.
I'm done. Okay.
Sorry about that, E. That's crazy.
Oh, Lord. Okay. So all of that. Okay. So cute. Let me go here. Let me take a commercial break, and so that we can change topics, because child, that there, I done went down the rabbit hole. Okay. Be right back, y'all. Hold on. Be bold. Be unique. Be the tea. With a unique body oil fragrance from the Sensuality Fragrance Collection. The Sensuality Collection embodies a unique array of customized original scents created by Big Meech. Indulge yourself in such fragrances as eye candy, foreplay, anticipation, shower fresh, naked beauty, or pay homage to the motherland and choose an oil from our exclusive Wakanda collection. Over 17 different scents that will tantalize your senses. Order yours today. Log on to www.dishingtea.com for more information. Because remember, it's all about the tea. Sensuality, that is. Angelo Ellerby, the Henry Higgins of hip-hop, is the founder, president, and CEO of Double Exposure Media Relations. Double Exposure Media Relations is a full-service public relations, marketing, and artist development firm specializing in publicity, photography, artist promotion and artist development, makeup artistry, event production, and EPK development. Celebrating over 45 years in the industry, Angelo believes that a culture that does not take care of nor respect its artists is a culture that leaves nothing behind to appreciate. Let Angelo help you make dollars and cents of the entertainment industry. Contact Double Exposure Media Relations at 201-224-6570. That's 201-224-6570.
How you all doing? My name is Jason Panner, and I'm the CEO and founder of B Condoms. Today I'm going to show you what it means to have the largest condom on the US market. As we can see, I have one of our Platinum XL B condoms in hand, and I have a ruler right there. The ruler is about 18 inches, right? What I'm going to show you right now is how I can actually take our condom all the way down to my elbow, right? So what you can see We're pulling it all the way down. Now, keep in mind, not only do we have the biggest condom in the market, our condoms are also pH sensitive, they're vegan friendly, they're organic, and we don't contain any of the fillers that other brands have. B Condoms, biggest condom on the US market, takes you all the way down to the elbow. Make sure to protect the culture. Thank you and take care.
The views and opinions expressed here on Dishing Tea TV are strictly those of the hosts and guests of this program. They do not reflect the views and opinions or governing actions of any of the sponsors or affiliates of Dishing Tea Entertainment, Artist First Entertainment, Big Guy ENT, Atlanta Hot Radio, Black GDP TV, or Diversity TV. Your viewing and listening discretion is advised. And we are back. Okay.
All right.
All right, let's get into something that I saw. I'm going to play this clip. I may have to take this clip out because it belongs to the view. Okay. But the message in this is that way. Okay, and I want y'all to pay attention to it because this is going to spark another discussion that may go down the rabbit hole. Okay. Take a listen to this. Wait.
I'm sorry, I think I love
It's the hand movement. It was. I'm looking at the screen trying to click the thing. I'm seeing.
I think we can get, for young men, I like the idea of restoring an aspirational vision of masculinity that can serve as a code. And I don't think there's anything wrong with leaning into your femininity or your masculinity if it feels natural. And for me, masculinity is, and I'm open to criticism here, this is a tough one that triggers a lot of people, but I think the three pillars are provider. I think every man at the outset of his career should assume that he needs to take economic responsibility for his household. And by the way, sometimes...
Or at least for himself.
And sometimes that means getting out of the way of your partner who happens to be better at that money thing and taking up the slack in other parts of the household.
But not being mad about it.
And be supportive.
Yeah.
My partner, when we had kids, was working at Goldman, making more money than me, so I tried to step up. That's also being a man. Two, and this triggers people, being a procreator. I think wanting to mate, that fire of desire, can be channeled, if it's channeled in the right ways, to making you a better man. Making you kinder, making you stronger. For God's sakes, thinking about how you dress, showering for God's sakes. Being persistent, initiating contact. The scariest stat I have read is that 51% of men age 18 to 24 have never asked a woman out in person. And surveys show, distinct to what the media tells you, the majority of women still want men to initiate romantic contact while making them feel safe. Third pillar. You're a protector, right? Your default operating system is you protect. If you think about the most masculine jobs, cop, fireman, military, what do they do at the end of the day? They protect. Your default should always be protection, right? It breaks my heart. And then in New York, if you talk to women, a lot of them say they don't feel safe on the subway. Or if they see men walking down the street that cross the sidewalk. From an early age, we got to teach our boys that the transition to manhood means your default operating system is protection. And it's not just physical. It's if you hear people criticizing others behind their back, your default is to weigh in and defend. You may not agree with the transgender community. You may not agree that corporations need to have a third bathroom. You may not believe in gender affirmation. But when you see a group being demonized, your default setting as a man is you move to protection. We are providers, we're protectors, and we're procreators. There is nothing wrong with masculinity. It is a wonderful guidepost. Lean in. We just need to redefine what it means to be a man. You add surplus value. You create more tax revenue than you absorb. You protect people. You witness their lives. You register more complaints than you actually complain. And if you leave this earth having given more than you've taken, then you leave this world as a man. That is what it means to be a man.
Okay.
Well, I was with him. That's the whole security protection thing that he's speaking on when it comes to masculinity. the provider thing.
Yeah.
Let's take the word provisional.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Because I noticed that he added the trans community in there.
Uh-huh.
This is where I have a problem at.
Uh-huh.
How do they expect you to protect the trans community as if you would protect the female community
Mm-hmm.
in the same manner when a majority of the trans people don't even accept you as a heterosexual male in their presence? They alienate you.
Oh, now that's a thought.
Yet still you want my masculinity as protection mode if somebody else is being belligerent or ignorant.
That's very interesting. That's very interesting. Let's break that down. Because
Same as demasculate. Hey, let's knock the police budgets down, but still want them to show up at your door when your husband beating you in your brain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Something ain't right.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's do this because those are two wonderful examples. First, let me say to the point of not seeing a heterosexual man for who he is. I'm going to go out on a limb now. My trans sisters, I want y'all to correct me, but I don't think that I'm far from the truth in this. A lot of times, if they're not identifying you as heterosexual that way or whatever, it's because most of the time they want you to see them as heterosexual women and it becomes a sexual thing. The energy there is if you don't accept me as someone you can bed or wife up or whatever, I'm not going to accept you because I'm going to put you into the category of them. You're just like them. And so they don't treat you as the individual to get to know you to see if you are an ally or not. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate because I think that there is how we as rainbow children operate, period. Most of the time.
But there is again,
yeah,
excesses division.
Right. Exactly. And that there is one that's a crazy caveat that we have there. However, it exists. Okay. As far as what he was talking about with the protection aspect of it,
right?
Like you just said there, you came with the okay. Wait a minute, I was there until that, and so that brought up all the reservations and carrying on because now we're here, and that there was part of his point.
Mm-hmm.
If I am a man, my default should be protected.
Right.
Okay. However, my default then became adulterated or whatever.
But if you identify as a woman, don't accept me as a heterosexual man in your community. You don't accept me as the greeting that you would give another trans person.
Right.
So therefore, how dare you expect me to come to your aid?
And so now it becomes, okay, you on your own. Because if you can't accept me for me and yet want me to accept you for you.
Right.
See, that's the double standard right there.
That's what I'm saying. So
that's
that's why I say,
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
That's why I say, oh, you didn't see that man, that trans standing up there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Tracy is now Tracy. You know what I'm saying? And
you know what?
Talking about, you know what I'm saying? So,
don't look at me. I'm coming off my screen. Don't look at me.
Be a slab like this one. But you know what I'm saying? But then they going through all that, and I'm saying,
I'm sick of you.
But did you not recognize when I spoke to you and recognized you in your truth?
Right. Okay.
Now you need me. So guess what? You and your pronouns go to hell.
Take you and your pronouns. This child, okay, you know what? He said take you and your damn pronouns. Okay. But now here's where this is, because see, now that's just one aspect of it. It's interesting that you jumped on that. But I knew that was going to be the piece that was going to raise eyebrows. It's because like the guy said, honey, I'm expecting pushback, so etc. At the same time, there's a little bit more to that in carrying on. And we get to breaking down the whole idea of toxic masculinity. Y'all know I've been saying this for the longest time, that masculinity needs to be redefined because we have a lot of unspoken rules. Now, y'all know this something that came up a couple times within the last month that we've been doing this. Okay, particularly that we've been here.
It's a real thing.
But it's a real thing, and that's one of my questions that I have for you guys. Why is it that this is so important, especially in this particular climate that we're in right now? All right, where we have men, and particularly black men, because white children don't go through this all the time. I do not hear white men talking about, the fact that they have to preserve masculinity. Okay, they're not on the forefront like that. Now, it may be a conversation, okay, that I don't hear. All right, in Caucasian community, but this conversation in black culture it is every waking fucking moment. It is there on the surface because we done analyzed it. We done took it across the board as far as women. Women have I say this. Women have become the men that they want because they're not feminine or whatever. And when they're trying to date, they date men with masculine energy. We go to Hollywood and Hollywood trying to emasculate and demasculate. What is the difference between the two? I want to know.
Well, okay, I don't like okay. I understand what you're saying when it comes to the Afro-American and the Caucasian trans, okay? And the two different communities. But to me, I personally wouldn't be able to doggone do a comparison like you're doing in your conversation. I wouldn't be able to do that because at the end of the day, when you're over here in Caucasian world, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Charlie Ray and Charlena, they even though they're the same person, you never see the worlds connect like they do in the Afro-American community. You know what I'm saying? Because they're more flamboyant, they're more out, they're more doggone. Look at me, I'm a princess, I'm a pony.
I'm a pony.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You got black men, their sons are saying, "Daddy, I'm your queen." So just,
Daddy, I'm your queen. If you don't, okay.
Yeah, you having tea parties with your little boys. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, go ahead.
I wish you would. I wish you would.
What? Because you know what the fuck my question was.
I wish you
You know what the goddamn hell my question is.
I wish your little leprechaun dressing asses they would.
Okay, Lucky Charms is what? Lucky Charms all day. Ah!
I'm just saying that some things don't need to doggone connect. They just need to be where they are or stand strong in their own position.
I disagree. I disagree. But hear me well. I think what has to happen is that we have to be okay with folks saying, I don't want this to intersect here. Right. You know what I mean? Because not everything is for everybody. How they say, me and my house, we gonna praise the Lord. Now I know in this house, this is how it's going to be. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And et cetera, et cetera. Now the problem becomes is that this is your house. But now you want to take your house and your rules, and now you're trying to sit up here and make sure that the neighborhood is following your house rules. And it's like, okay, wait a minute, dude, hold up. Okay, let's come to a happy medium. Because you don't have to understand this or have to accept it. But somehow or another, we got to find that happy medium because we got to coexist. Okay, we in the HOA over here, honey. Now, I don't need you to sit up here and go running because I fucking planted some damn tulips and you got verbena and you mad because my tulips are tulips and tuliping and your verbena is just flat and carrying on, but mine are growing and being lovely and I got a fucking bouquet. Okay, which is a bouquet of sluts.
What is
verbena?
Verbena is a flower?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's that purple, that blue, that cobalt blue purple.
Oh, okay. You said they flat, like it sounded like you was doing the ED commercial. Go ahead. Did I do something wrong? I was just making clarity on your flatness. Did I do that?
Okay. Oh,
Lord, you can't take me nowhere.
anyway.
Oh, and tell your shout out to what is his name? Anthony Sonny Marsh. What he said? He said as best friends between Demetrius, Dennis Taylor, and Red, have y'all said I love you, man. Oh, have you kissed your gerbil in the mouth today? Go ahead.
Stop. Now, you know that's Kitty Girl.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kitty. Did you kiss your cat in the mouth today?
Okay, shut up, fool. That's Miss Kitty Girl, honey.
Did you tell the doorknob that you swing on that you love him?
Okay. I told you that. And okay, have y'all, I misread that because I didn't see the have y'all.
Right.
Okay, I missed it. I took the have out and said, y'all, I said, y'all have said it. Yes, we have said it to one another, you know, but we brothers, you know. And
we're brothers.
Okay. Okay, but it took us a minute because we had to work to that, you know, in order for that to come in, because before I was a part of the inner circle, honey, I had to listen. Okay, here we go. And this is all that masculinity, and all this is in the same category. Okay, you don't sit down there and just because you make associations with everybody, you don't put them in your fucking inner circle automatically. They have to earn a spot. They have to earn that spot. Okay, right, the old-fashioned way. Okay. They have to earn that there. Okay. So the cultivation that it took to get us here has been almost 10 years. Okay. I met him. I started school in 2016. That's when we met.
It's a rough transition.
Okay.
It's a rough transition when you have so many different opinions of things. You know what I'm saying? Well, we got 1,000 opinions of who he is and where he comes from. Right. And who I am and where I come from. Right. And how does there even an equal medium anywhere that we're meeting in? You know what I'm saying? So when people too busy trying to figure out the wrong thing. Exactly. All they need to do is realize, drop your luggage. Boom. And be in acceptance of what's new. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes what you may not think is for you, it might be directly for you, because you got people that's on the normalcy, or what you want to call normal in this world. Yeah, okay. You got people on the normalcy that you want to call normal in this world, and they not right at all. And they're saying, I love you, brother, and this and that, calling you brother and everything, but at the end of the day, for all the years in their life, they are plotting to destroy you. Right. Right. Okay. You got other people from separate worlds. You know what I'm saying? We're like this. You got people from over here from the earth tones and the rainbow. Okay? So you got earth tones and the rainbow, yet still they cover each other in any systematic situation that's going on. Right. With no resistance. Right. And no outside entity is breaking it. Right. So at the end of the day, who really is right and who's wrong? That part. Who are you to say this is wrong, this is right? Take a look at yourself. You can't even be, you know what I'm saying, loyal to your own kind. Ooh. Right? I mean, think about it. It should be easier to be more loyal. You know what I'm saying? A group of heterosexual men should be more loyal to each other as a group and a clique of camaraderie, and not have no buckles or no issues no matter what go on. But is that true in this world? No. Because each one of them is worried about what you got more than the other, and they got hidden agendas based on where they put you in their life. Right. Oh, that part. Okay. Another one where I'm put and where I'm placed. Right. Okay. Again, now going to this whole masculinity thing. Okay. As far as placement and this, that, and the other, and all of that. When it comes down to understanding masculinity, and I'm saying that because it is all energy, regardless of the packaging. See, one of the things about masculinity, why it has to be redefined, is because we're expected to come from a male packaging all the time. Right. Okay.
And oftentimes, when masculine energy, honey, it comes into whatever package is coming in. And when you meet it, we want it to be a monolith. We expecting masculinity to be this way. We want it to be this. We want it to be that. Okay, all black and white. We don't accept the gray. We don't accept any kind of color in it or whatever. But we expect masculinity to be toned here. Okay, and in this particular box, which is why now that we're talking masculinity, the power to the people children are separating masculinity with black masculinity, because they're like, well, black masculinity is not accepted because black masculinity is a force. It is a this, it is a that. You know, we come differently. And this time you will hear the Umar Johnsons and who else? That, because somebody else said something real crazy along that line. Oh God, it wasn't. Oh, he's right here on the tip of my tongue. I'm looking right at him. What is his name, child? Anyway, let's go to Terrence Howard, because Terrence Howard just did a whole big old thing about his man card. Okay, why he don't accept gay roles because of my man card and this, that, and the other. And you know, everybody trying to, you know, now the slogan is no Diddy, you know, and this, that, and the other because of we have allowed ourselves to placate what this whole thing is. And I wonder, did you accept the definition that the guy was, his name was Scott, that he said in the clip? Are we accepting that as a definition? Because what is it? We have a whole bunch of, y'all know we just did this a couple of weeks ago with my nephew here about those unspoken rules when it comes down to being a man.
So let's okay. In our neighborhood that we grew up in,
right.
There's we have a thing I like to make up my own. This is one of my words, labelology.
Okay.
All right. Because we'll take something that is foreign to what they call normacy.
Right.
And they'll label it as such. And as it evolves and gets older and older and it grows, it don't go away. The labels change.
Right. Right.
But now the labels have had to change and readjust based on political correctness.
Right. Exactly.
Because I sit here and I think about back when I'm a child and I hear my uncles, you know, the masculine guys, with brick of rolls hanging on the back porch. You know what I'm saying? And then they would say something about a rainbow gentleman. You know, back then, I'm just strange to do this many words and labels, because you're gonna remember this. It's gonna spark like remember Faggot Susie?
Yeah.
Remember that? You see that Faggot Susie?
Faggot Susie, right. Yeah.
Okay, then you turn around and then you see, you know what I'm saying, yo stickler, Punk.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was the one that yeah.
Then as they got older, now my preteen, now it's cis ass.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Cis ass niggas. Yeah.
Right, okay. Then he got up there, you know what I'm saying, you know, faggot ass trick, you know what I'm saying? You know, it got to the point where it was it's like house time, it was gay boys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Right.
Gay boys.
Right.
It's just crazy, but each time it was an offensive thing if it was directed towards the person that's carrying themselves like that, or chose that lifestyle. So when I think about it, I have to really say to your community that you had no choice but to become politically correct and join forces and do things in order to doggone live your truth.
Right.
Because people, that's too many damn labels for the exact same thing.
Right. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let me give you 6 through 10.
Right.
Okay. 6 through 10 comes here. Oftentimes, and this here, we deal with this on this particular spectrum because the whole idea of masculinity was anything that was anti-feminine or female. All right. The whole idea of being a man was we don't wear dresses, we don't wear makeup, you know, we don't wear the 65 colors, we don't do this, we don't do that. You know, it was all about making sure that you're strong, that you don't talk with a lisp and carrying on. You know, there was this whole thing about a handshake. A man shake hands like this. The way a man crossed his legs. Do y'all know? Listen.
You know, you just named about 4 or 5 things that originally belonged to men back in the day.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about the makeup. You just named it.
Yeah.
They really originally belonged to me.
Yeah, all that was created for men.
Right.
Okay, girdles and pin, the
Right.
waist cinches and all that. That was created for me. But a lot of that became because we wanted this stoic image, this whole upstanding, what a man don't do, and carrying on. That whole thing of crossing the legs. I cross my, when I don't cross over, I take and I knew your answers go, who's that? I saw myself in the camera. I saw myself, and I knew your answers go do that. I can't stand you. Okay. So outside of the crossover, when I'm sitting, yeah, I did it on purpose so you could do it again. Okay. When I'm sitting, like and carried out like at the ankles, I would cross at the ankles, Um, did you just fairy fly? Okay. Tinkerbell. Okay. Anyway, listen. So
He said it.
I did. Okay. So to cross at the ankles, the whole ankle thing, that was a girl's way of sitting. And folks would criticize me, don't sit like that. Sit like what? Why are you crossing it?
Like
Because
a
it's
shout out
comfortable.
too short.
Because it's comfortable, and this and that. I told you this a long time ago, when I would carry my books, going to school, the boys' way of carrying the books was down by the side. He had all the books like this. I would carry my okay, well, all right, I uno. Okay. I would carry my books, up close so that because I knew folks would love to come and knock the books down out your hand and carry on. So I carried mine like this and, would walk to school. Okay. So that was all. You were having a very easy time with this discussion.
I'm just trying to make sure they understand.
Right. So, I would carry my book that way, but that was always a sign that I was being too feminine. That was a girl's move. Only girls carry their books like that. Okay, only girls do that.
You know how I carry my books?
What, in the backpack?
Yeah, no,
I have somebody else carry
I
it.
let a female carry them while she walked behind me on the way there.
Whatever. Okay. Anywho, so we had all of those particular characteristics. What?
He said,
Carry them at your breast. I did. Yes, I did. You still coaching fairy wings. Okay. But that there, over time that became, that was feminine stuff. So anything that's masculine was supposed to be anti that because you're supposed to be this man. You're not supposed to be show any signs of weakness. And I thought that there was always. Why is it that a woman was always weak? Why is it that femininity is always considered to be weak?
Because Butch hadn't been born yet. Did I say something wrong?
Let's look up that word because see, for butch to become a gay epithet, or not necessarily epithet, we were using that to define masculine energy, and carrying on, I know we as gays we say it all the time, that this is so butch, anytime that we were doing something that was very masculine, or whatever, like lifting furniture and I thought, oh my God, this is so butch for me. You know, having an appearance or other qualities of a type traditionally seen as masculine. Okay.
Something like a Neanderthal.
Okay. Traditional. Oh, okay. Now this is what is the true meaning of butch? It says traditionally in lesbian culture, the word butch refers to a woman whose gender expression and traits present as typically masculine. Being butch is about playing with and challenging the traditional binary male and female gender roles and expression.
So it was trying to carry. It was trying to carry the whole female situation, like you butch, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You masculine, or you butch and you crazy.
You know what? Butch wasn't born until the WNBA. Shut up, fool. But
so maybe that's what it is. Maybe we should put an H and make two words out of butcher. You know what I'm saying? We got butcher. You know what I'm saying? It could be the guy who cuts the meat up, right? Or we could add an H in between that and make it butch her, right? And it could be the girl that wants to have the meat.
You know what?
What?
They probably already do that. But
I'm just trying to help y'all out.
But see, a lot of this. I'm one of the queens, honey, who do not believe in toxic masculinity. I don't believe in that expression. Okay, because I don't believe that masculinity is toxic. What I do believe is that it can become exaggerated because we have what I like to call the uber masculine, or the I just said the word earlier, machismo. Okay, when we dealing with machismo and carrying on or whatever, because now a man got to prove who he is and prove that he's not soft and carrying on. See, a lot of that is what I consider what a lot of folks are saying is toxic masculinity stuff. I used it. I don't like using it, but because of the culture that we're in order to get a point across, I use it in that regard because that's what a lot of folks are trying to say. Those who are trying to overcompensate their masculinity and trying to step beyond those boundaries or step into those realms where, you know, they're trying to use their maleness, their manhoodness, or whatever to downplay somebody else. See, because you are super hard, super this, super that, you know, you're tough, you're rough and carrying on. Okay, you carry the big gun, or you know how to fight very well.
So that means that goes back to reference of New Jack City when Pookie beat up the girl over the turkey. He was like, the fact that I'm a man make me kick your mother. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't like he can say, you know, the fact that I'm a trans. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's right. You know what I'm saying? So it makes a lot of sense. No pun intended.
Right. Okay. Hey, Ruby, what's going on, baby? What we got? Not to be offensive, but where am I from? Where I'm from, it wasn't butcher. It was B dagger, a bull dagger. Okay,
bull
right.
Dagger.
Bull
That's
dagger.
my brother's name.
Bull dagger.
Bull Dagger.
Bull dagger. Okay. Like with the body, too much testosterone becomes estrogen. Okay, well, okay. It does seroconvert if it's too much in there because it's not balanced. See, this is the one thing about it that I believe that was Haji. Okay.
I'm gonna send you a Uber toot. That's a prostitute in Uber.
Uber toot. I'm gonna beat you. Not a prostitute Uber, but an Uber toot.
Uber toot.
Uber toot. Okay. Okay. But just like with everything else, it requires balance. And one of the things about masculine energy is that as men or as males, okay, no, I don't have to say men because even our trans men, you know, they get into this whole masculine energy or whatever. And it's about how, you know, you see yourself, how you define yourself. within your manhood. And one of the things is that we have allowed society to want to make manhood a monolith because we look for this to be black and white. You know, a man is this. A man can't be a man unless he's such. And it's like, well, wait a minute, because see, those men who are married and with children and carrying on, who may have feminine, exist in the feminine characteristics of whatever, and have a very masculine wife, masculine. I'm teaching this. Masculine and feminine energy are going to attract, regardless of the packaging. Okay? Regardless of the packaging, which is why you see what back in the day, men used to be called hen-picked or pussy whipped or whatever, because they had a very strong woman and this, that, and that. But a lot of her strength was very, she had a lot of a masculine sense about her, right? And the dude, may have a lot of feminine energy and carrying on what masculine energy, is going to attract. Even in gay community, we tend to sit up there and say that, I'm mask for mask, masculine energy looking for another masculine man or whatever. But when it comes down to it, honey, somewhere in there, somebody's alpha, somebody's beta. And it's not necessarily individual, so don't go there. Okay, but somewhere the dynamics will balance out. You know what I'm saying? It's going to balance out because that's what that is. Otherwise, you just become a pack. Because masculine energy, masculine meets masculine, honey. Only thing we do, we become homeboys, we become running partners and carrying on. Okay? But then it becomes who's the leader of the pack. See? And that then becomes the quote unquote the alpha. Okay? Because of his leadership skills and this, that, and the other. But if masculine energy meets masculine energy, that becomes a pack. Okay? Feminine energy meets feminine energy, that becomes another pack. Okay? But masculine and feminine energy is going to connect. So oftentimes, when we talk about this as far as the male species is concerned, we get this because a lot of male men don't want to be around another man that's too feminine acting. Why? Why?
Because he don't want to get mascara on his white collar shirt.
Exactly. Because he don't want to get too close.
There you go.
Because he don't want to get too close. Why? Because it's attractive.
Because girls are contagious.
Okay.
No matter their ages.
It becomes
Even
attractive. Okay. And that is the silent killer that nobody wants to talk about. Okay. Because why? Because heterosexual men, to say that they are attracted to a feminine acting man is sacrilege. Bitch, that there, no. But it's not that they're attracted to the feminine acting man, they're attracted to the femininity.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, well, what's the entertainer name? Suki something, Suki Suki.
Oh, Sukiana. Not Sukiana. Suki. What's her name? Suki Angel.
Is that her name?
I'm pull her up. Hold on.
Something at the top. Something at the
bottom. Yeah. Titties at the top and dick at the bottom.
I knew you were the words.
You know what? I'm not with you. Okay. I am not with you. But her name is Sun Key Angel.
Sun Key Angel.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that right there, okay. That's a strange situation because I saw a picture of that person.
Uh-huh.
And before I knew what was going on with that person, I thought it was an attractive woman.
Uh-huh.
And see, I'm secure in who I am.
Right.
I'm who I say I am on whatever day of the week I want to say I am and do something about it. I put a hot one in your ass. How about that? So, but
hey.
But at the end of the day, that's practically what you were just saying.
Uh-huh.
If that person was in a sports car, sitting down in a sports car, riding by you in traffic, you would pursue that sports car, trying to greet that person or date that person. before you found out that the butcher shop was in the basement.
Not the butcher shop was in the basement, honey. That's the freezer, honey. She got the meat stored. It's in storage.
You understand what I'm saying? So that right there, I don't understand being devastated because you saw what you saw.
Right.
Hell, you get excited if you open up a centerfold.
Exactly. Hello.
And it's a beautiful woman in the centerfold, but it's paper. You can't.
Right. He said, but it's paper.
What you mean? I mean, at the end of the day, let's think about it. I'm going to break this down for you all, for you slow people, okay?
Okay.
All right. You're a heterosexual man worried about being attracted to a transgender. You don't even know it's a transgender if it's perfectly done correctly. You know what I'm saying? If it's put together like some damn supermodel, you wouldn't even know.
Exactly.
Okay, unless you're being told.
Right.
But then at the same time, you get upset because you find out that there is wood in the mascara. Okay, so now, because you get mad at this wood in the mascara, but you open up a magazine, Blacktail, Playboy, whatever, go to the centerfold, and you're excited, taking pictures and taking the magazine to you, showing it to your boys, the whole
right.
yards.
Right.
But let's get deep with this. It's the same thing, fellas. You got to doggone use wood to make paper to print the girl on.
Did you say that?
Either way it goes, things that make you go home.
Wait a minute, I'm gonna put her side up here. She said that one more time. She said, "Speak slow and small words." Okay. Speak slow and small words. Listen. Okay.
Listen fast and use a thesaurus.
Okay. Woo! A lot of times this conversation here becomes that way, and it has multifacets. And I know this is not the only time we're going to be. This is not the last time we're talking about it, because within us, I don't want to. Wait, I don't want to. Within the dynamics of all of this, okay,
I love it.
comes, a lot of misguidedness. We have to fuddle through and figure out what we were told, because our parents only did what they thought was right. Now we're going to start there. Okay. Each generation does what they think is best, and what is this and what is that. After all it's said and done, now let's look at our kids and what's going on right now, especially in the consciousness that we are. Okay. Now, those of us that are over 50 and carrying on, these are our babies and our grandbabies. What did we instill? Did we take the same lessons that our parents gave us? Okay. Or in our elated woke minds, are we now teaching folks another way of how to look at life? Okay. The grandbabies, these 20-year-olds in Canada, I don't know what generation it is right now. These kids are coming out, with a better understanding of the world that we never had. And a lot of folks are they're looking at it crazy and carrying on. We looking strange because of the language and stuff done changed, and it's not the black and white that we're used to, honey. These kids now are living in color. They are a fucking kaleidoscope. Okay. And it can be offensive at times because they're like, wait a minute, y'all done went too goddamn full. Okay. But is this the result that we want? Because when we talking masculine men, when we talk about men, period, okay,
that would be those that keep their pants above their drawers.
Okay. When we're talking about that, and we're talking about men, okay, what was that? You said I did, but I also tried to let my kids be a little more free to express themselves. That's us, okay, Ruby. That there is us. We came out with wanting to express themselves or whatever, not want to bottle them up and this, that, and the third. But we also had to make sure that we taught them boundaries, because in expressing yourself don't give you carte blanche to do bullshit. Okay.
And I also don't give you carte blanche to be disrespectful.
Ha ha. Because Essie Lorraine, honey, now.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
But I didn't have a man child of mine having a conversation with me, and in the middle of the conversation talking about some, look, my nigga. What I was trying to tell you, I said, look, my homeless.
Yeah.
That part.
Yeah. Not look, my
because
homeless.
your niggas outside.
Right. Right.
They out up in here. So.
Okay. My husband was the man that I would not really allow my son to play with girls, not even his sisters. Oh, really? So he was that dude. Okay. Now wait a minute. Before I go assuming, was his idea not to have your son play with his sisters or to play with girls was to keep his masculinity intact? Or was this a whole thing of respecting women because they're not to be played with like that? Okay, because he's a boy, he might be playing too rough, that kind of thing. Was it that? Or was it what I'm thinking, that in his whole idea of wanting to keep a man child, no, you don't play with girls. Boys play with boys. Boys do, you do this, you do that. That kind of thing. Honey. Was it that? Okay. Okay, you said yes, but you were saying that as I was talking. So which yes to which part? All of it or yes? Okay. So, in that, this is what we have. So trying to express that with these kids, our generation, there we go. His son was not going to be a sissy. And that's it right there.
That's another one.
That's it right there. That is it right there. Because all of us grew up with that. All of us. That there's what we grew up with. My son ain't gonna be no goddamn sissy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember this? You want to get your butt whooped, and you not understand what's going on because you are 3 years old, and get your butt whooped for playing with a dial.
But you couldn't play with a dial, but yet you went to go give me G.I. Joe and and fucking Evil Knievel.
So I can't play with the dial where I comb her hair and give her be the fashionista. Right. But I can play with the dial that during wartime he shares a doggone sleeping bag with another man. Something's wrong with this world.
Wait, and see, I always do this. I always do this with this conversation, because the most masculine of masculine sports is football. Okay. That is the most masculine of masculine.
Not football.
Okay.
Football.
Okay. And American football, not soccer. Okay.
That's football.
She said I couldn't cover him because that would make him soft.
That's right. You gotta wrench around, wrench it off.
Okay, listen. Okay.
Nigga, you on fire, blow it up.
Right. And that was bullshit to me. That's, you know what? Daddy tried that shit with my mom. That was bullshit to me. Because if I can't come to you and you want to sit there and try to want to talk it out or whatever, no, you all right? You are, no, the fuck, I'm not all right. This shit hurts. And you telling me I can't even say it hurts. Suck it up. What you crying for? Because it hurt. Okay. Oh, you little punk. Oh. Wait a minute.
So your punk ass just had a doggone. I couldn't damn help it.
Okay. It was too easy. It was just sitting there. It was sitting there. Was it sitting there for you? Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh. But that's what that was because that there is what we had. You know, growing up and trying to understand, get this thing about being masculine, about being a boy. I was never in tune like that. My masculinity was not that. Mine came out in other areas. Okay. Now I was always the creative one. Okay. As long as I was playing the trumpet, when I played the trumpet, that was cool. Because they thought I could be the next Winston Marsalis or something, whatever, right?
And you was gonna blow something.
You know what? Okay.
What do you want to be when you grow up? Peter Pan?
Okay. Every time I played with my sister's Barbie dolls, they always ended up in a missionary position. We could
That's the best way to get through it.
we can between at least and skip on top again.
So who's on top? They need to come out. They came out with every Barbie in the world. They need to come out with a top and bottom Barbie.
Oh, that's Ken. Okay. Okay, that's why they haven't. That's Ken. Okay.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Okay. Well, wow.
New dial collection, testosterone, teddy, and estrogen.
Okay. Well, listen.
I gotta hear about it in a minute.
I know. I'm looking at the time. Listen, we got to go because we got to go pick up nephew and carrying on. So we're gonna this here. We're gonna leave this here, okay? Because yeah. Again, it's so many facets to this, and we have allowed ourselves to be duped. We've allowed ourselves to be duped because we refuse to allow individuality to be the thing. Because anytime when it comes down to what being a man is or masculinity, we always want that to be a monolith. And we refuse to allow the kaleidoscope of that to exist because we want men to be a certain way. And that's across the board. That there, I mean, as the rainbow children, honey, I'm telling you, it is something for us. Everybody always looking for a masculine man, but I'm gonna tell you, it's the femme girls, honey, who are always the tops. We got more feminine tops, honey, than ever, and a lot of masculine bottoms. Okay, in fact, that's the hot thing right now, the masculine bottoms. Okay, and if you look at the porn world, for those of y'all who follow porn like I do and carrying on, that there is the market. Okay, you got all these children, honey, who are masculine bottoms. Okay, there's no market yet for the femme tops yet, not yet. But I know a lot. I know a bunch of them. Okay, well,
Wow.
okay.
He had a moment, y'all.
I was about to say because I'm one of them, but okay, okay. But I had to stop. But I did not just say that.
Commercial.
Huh?
We're gonna charge you for that commercial.
Okay. But there is that. So so in this, so with far as the rainbow children is concerned, is one thing. Now, but for just being male, okay, and that we've said this a long time ago. There's just born male in this world. There's a certain set of rules, honey, that we all have been inoculated with, and a lot of them are unspoken. So because of that, this whole idea of being a man, and especially how society, it still bugs me that certain colors determine your masculinity, certain types of music determine your masculinity, and this, that, and that. The whole idea of listening to Beyonce, I done heard fellas sit up there talking about they can't rock Beyonce in their car because that's too soft. But you like her, and they want to talk about how fat her ass is and carrying on, how much you want to fuck her. But you can't rock with her. You don't let it be known that you bought or downloaded her music, and you can't play it. You got to play a secret. See, that's bullshit.
Yeah, but you're in there like, oh. If you like it, then you put a ring on it. That's not you. Not one bit. I don't want to see no grown man do that.
Oh, wait a minute. So my husband had a gay kid anyway. After all of that, okay. My bonus child is a girl. That's a boy, but really a girl. Okay, right. Okay.
Oh, this nigga. I can read that right?
Chemo drugs. Oh, you gotta take your medicine. Okay, baby. Listen, my head just went there, and we got to go.
Okay.
Listen, I'm just gonna play the outro. Child. I'm not gonna know because he just wore me out with that. He just wore me the fuck out with all of that. Okay. Okay. What do you say?
Just remember this, Ed. This ain't Texas.
Wait. No. Good night. Fuck it. No. Good night. No.